Hey, Aquarius, this is Alex Angel, and I am here to bring you your very first Good Vibes reading. Y'all know these readings are timeless, so even though it's being published in May of 2020, the reading itself is timeless and may resonate at any given moment in time. Okay, for this reading, we're doing something way different because you see the 4 decks that are in front of you. We are putting out a overall energy card, a single card here. I am using Ask Your Guides for that card. And then I am laying out a 5/6 card spread with the Tower of Dreams. I love this deck. Then we are going to put out 3 Healing with the Angels cards. Love this deck. I love all my decks. And then we're going to put out 3 Energy Oracle cards as well. Okay, dear God, angels, energy, beautiful universe, please bless our wonderful Aquarius with information that they may need to help them through this very difficult time that we are having in the world today. Okay, yeah, I wanted to do this reading because of the coronavirus pandemic and just the amount of fear that's out there today in the world. Has a lot of people so scared, and that energy will do nothing for you. Okay, so I wanted to create something where I can give back some of the love and the light and the beautiful God energy back to people to help them navigate through these really, really, really tough times. Okay, so that's what this reading is all about. All right, let's see what we have. All right, Aquarius. Ooh, very, very, very nice. 10 of Cups. Hey, 2 of Cups. Sorry, I get a little like James Brown up in here. Hey, okay. There's a 4 of Cups. Y'all came out strong. Strong. Ooh, the 8 of Swords is at the bottom. Now, this is not meant to be a love reading, danggummit, but it's happened, right? Because this situation is overall energy. This first, the tarot cards have basically been speaking through what's going on in people's lives, right? Then these cards here, the Healing with the Angels cards, these cards been focusing on what's going on deep down inside of the people, right? Meaning what's going on deep down inside of you. And then the Energy Oracle cards, they have just been summarizing. Like, okay, y'all got to get y'all stuff together because this is what's happening. This is what's going to come. And this is what's going to continue to happen, girly. Dude, if you don't get it right. Okay. I apologize. Maybe somebody can put a timestamp on the video to show when I've actually started instead of doing all this shuffling and chitter-chattering. All right, Aquarius. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. Good. Wonderful. What do we have? Angels for Aquarius. Life Force and Aphrodite. Honey, that's pregnancy. Okay, that's pregnancy. That's babies. That's bringing forth love. And look at her. Look at her. Look at Mama and her heart and the babies. Okay, life. I'm sorry, guys. I can't get around this. This is a baby. This is bringing forth life. Not only that, but you got the freaking children's card here, right? Sorry for the glare. Not only do you have the children's card here, but you got the 6 of Cups here. Okay? Aquarius, what in Sam Hill do you have going on? And that's just my chair. Don't freak out. I'm not passing gas. But, ooh. This is a deep reading, Aquarius, okay? Let me kind of gather myself because I don't know. All right, downloads are coming left and right. what I am getting for you all is that for whenever this video may resonate, I feel like the conversation of babies, starting a family, new beginnings, the rest of our lives, happily ever after, like, you know, is that too bright? The happily ever after, that conversation is all over this reading. And I kind of feel like for some of you guys, let me see if I could turn this down. That shit is way bright. Okay. For a lot of you guys, I feel like the good vibes part of all of this, especially with Life Force, I feel like you have what you've wanted, right? Like you are smack dab. People who are in relationships and great relationships and everything's that are going good, they normally don't watch these videos, okay? But I feel like if this is not your situation where everything is going good, I feel like you will hit a wave in your relationship where everything is going good, right? But this guy sitting right here, and the fact that he is sitting next to the Emperor, says that one of you guys in your relationship is not really being truthful and is not being honest, is not being upfront, right? Because I kind of feel like one of you guys is just going with the flow, but I kind of feel like there is something deep down inside that's really freaking important that you're not really talking about, right? And it's causing this situation. Oh, look at what's under there. Is the Five of Wands, right? I kind of causing inner turmoil, and it may cause a couple of underlying arguments as well. And then you have the Temperance here, and then the Three of Swords, right? So let's go ahead and read this out, right? It's funny because I put all these dang cards on the table, but these cards for the last 2 or 3 readings have been telling the stories, okay? So I feel like, again, Aquarius, if this is not you, it could be your partner or the person that you're dealing with. I kind of feel like somebody, again, is not being honest, and they're stuck in their head, and they're not, you know, they're kind of feeling restricted. I can also even hear somebody saying, well, you're the only one in this relationship getting anything out of it. I'm not really getting anything out of it. You know, for me, you know, I feel like I'm just here, right? And yeah, it's causing rifts between you guys, right? Not only that, but I do kind of feel like you guys go through a point where it's almost like, all right, well, what can we do differently? You know, talk to me about what you want. Please, just, even if it's going to hurt my feelings, just please tell me, right? Just open up. And what winds up happening is you learning the truth that, I wouldn't say breaks your heart, but it kind of, it hurts you to the core. Now, the Three of Swords could be a third-party situation, but the third-party situation, to me, based on what I'm reading right now, is not a physical person, but it's whatever this want or desire is that this person is keeping to themselves. It's almost like you're dealing with somebody, Aquarius, who is secretly resenting you, right? Now, another way to look at this too, right, is for some of you, I know especially with women, when they have babies or after they have babies, they tend to neglect their relationships for their children, right? You put the kid in front of the spouse or in front of the boyfriend or girlfriend. That could be what's going on here as well, right? Now, let's be, you know, let's flip it to the happy side, to the good vibe side, Alex. This is supposed to be a good vibe reading, right? Life Force, Aphrodite, yeah, she's like the queen of love, okay? And, you know, boy, Aphrodite, y'all know the aphrodisiac, right? The thing that puts you in the mood for love. But it's not just love. What they should say is love and sex. So for some of you, by the way, who doesn't want to have a kid, I will find some way to kind of strap up or use something to prevent pregnancy, because that's all that this first line is saying. This first line, again, has nothing to do with but pregnancy, right? You have the Ten of Cups, the happily ever after. You have the Two of Cups, you and I, dedication, commitment. You have the Emperor, you know, the authority, God figure, you know, the person who's kind of overseeing it all, you know, kind of like our lives together, and the happily ever after. You know, let's come up with some relationship goals, right? Like, what are we going to do? We're going to get married. Maybe after 2 years, we're going to have kids. Okay. But again, there's somebody who's sitting inside of all of this. And again, he's right next to the kids card. He or she is right next to the kid card. It's almost like they're in it, but not really. This is my don't give a fuck card, and this is also my numb card. And because again, this is a cups, it just feels like they're a robot in it, but their heart is not really in it, right? Now, this for a lot of readers represents past loves. It represents a past life. It represents nostalgia and the times when things are just wonderful and playful and not so bad, right? I kind of feel like, to an extent too, whomever it is that is in this situation that's pulling away or being numb, their head is stuck in the good old days, right? This to me could also be, again, somebody from their past. It could be somebody from a past life, or in this lifetime from their past, okay, who made them happier, right? This to me is the person or persons or kids or situations that brings them out of this situation. And I'm sorry, Aquarius, I have to give you guys what angels are giving me. I kind of feel like right now, I hate to say it because these are such beautiful cards. It's almost like this is not enough. It's almost like, to an extent, this is at a very surface level, right? The Two of Cups usually relates to like soulmates or, you know, twin flames, you know, kind of like my other half, if you will. And I just kind of feel like it's almost like I may have married the perfect person, but this perfect person still doesn't satisfy me, or leaves me still wanting more, or the only thing missing from this perfect relationship is the kids part of this happily ever after situation. And I'm telling you something, looking at these cards here, I can almost guarantee that, Jesus, I just dropped the card and kicked my tripod. So the person that you're dealing with does have some inner turmoil that they're not being honest about. They feel hella restricted, and they could be acting out, again, secretly resenting you. You guys may keep going back and forth. You may come up with a plan, but again, eventually, you know, I don't know. It just kind of feels like perhaps this could be the result or the end of this particular situation. Either this person is going to cut off the idea of wanting kids or whatever, this childlike, this past love or whatever it is in their lives. Either they're going to cut that off and let that go. And angels are saying, well, they could have done that too. They could have had to cut that off and let that go. And now they kind of feel restricted and are secretly resenting you, Aquarius. Okay. So that to me, again, is the life part of it, right? Life force, right? The 3D, the physical human. Now let's go a layer deep, right? Let's start talking about you internally, or your person internally. This is basically saying, watch this person, you know, forget the dumb shit, right? Forget what you think is going to happen in this situation. I feel like you can physically watch this person and watch their behavior. For a lot of you guys, you could be experiencing aha moments, because it's almost like, holy shit, they have been acting like this. Or holy shit, yeah, they have been making snide comments about kids and the fact that, you know, this, that, or the other. I kind of feel like for those of you, maybe for the first time, you're now seeing your partner in a different light, and you perhaps are now seeing the resentment that angels are focusing on, or bringing up, I should say. Okay? So I kind of feel, I want you to kind of zero in, or these cards are saying to me, pay attention, right? Pay attention to how children are affecting your situation. You love your kids. I mean, I know that. This to me, these whole four cards just screams baby, pregnancy, mommy. I mean, I could hear a baby crying, okay? But somebody is just not in it. And it's because he's stuck in the past. And that's keeping them bound. Focus on the 3D, real life, real time, right? Rectify whatever the situation is with kids. I feel like for some of you, wife may not want to have kids, husband does want to have kids. You need to have conversation after conversation after conversation about this particular subject of your kids. Now, again, for some of you who the children are being placed in front of your situation and in your scenario, angels were also brought up to me too, the whole idea of child custody and custody battles. It kind of feels like too, maybe one of you guys want to go off and get married and move somewhere else, but your mate or your partner is like, hell no, you ain't taking my kids out of state. And it's just causing the continual rift between you guys. Okay? This says to me, yeah, go ahead and listen and pay attention to how, two messages. Number one, listen and pay attention to how passionately this person talks about kids. And at the end of the day, if you are in a scenario where you don't want kids, but your partner does, like Jeannie Mai on The Real, you may have to break up and let them go, right? Because you don't ever want to rob nobody of that experience, right? Or you don't want to get in the way of, somebody else's dream to become a parent, right? So you may have to be the bigger person and kind of let them go and step to the side. The second message, right? The second message here is for those of you, again, who are dealing with custody cases and custody battles, pay attention to the child, right? Because, as an example, if you are a mother and you're a single mother, but your ex is now married to, a woman who treats your children beautifully, wonderfully, respectfully, kind, loving, and your child wants to be around that person more, trust me when I tell you, I know a lot of you are clicking off the video now, but trust me when I tell you, it's almost like, are you doing what's best for your child? Now, as a mother, myself, I ain't getting rid of nobody. My child just better suck it up, okay? But for some of you, say for instance, if you are struggling, maybe the child being in that type of household, that type of environment, will benefit the child way more than being in your environment. Not like you're a shitty parent. I'm not saying that. But maybe there's a situation out there that would benefit the child more. But again, I'm not just saying do this willy-nilly. Pay attention. Pay attention to the child. Is the child always wanting to go to daddy's? Are they wanting to, kind of reach out and, are they flourishing in school? Are they doing better in school? Right? At daddy's house versus then at your house. Okay? If that's the case, Aquarius, I'm sorry, but you may have to make a difficult decision and basically place that child in a position that is absolutely best for the child. I'm sorry. Okay? Look at this. Anxiety. Okay? Yeah, whatever this situation is, right? It's bringing you hella anxiety. Okay? I don't really feel like it's because you don't know what to do. I really do feel like you know what to do, but you don't want to do what you know is best. And that I can understand. Okay? Journey. Right? This is only yours, right? There's not a whole bunch of people who will relate to this situation and who have walked in your shoes on your particular journey. But there are some, okay? So, reach out and perhaps talk to people. This could be a matter of, you know what, I'm not going to deal with it now. Let me just step away from it and take a breath and do me for a little while. then I'll kind of come back to it and see what happens and see what, see how I feel about it. That's exactly what I feel about the journey card. I kind of feel like for a minute you may need to take your eyes off of it, walk away from it, and then come back to it later on with fresh eyes. And this being a thinking man, I kind of feel like for a lot of you, especially male viewers, because I do have some, right? This could be you actually in this scenario and having to kind of step away to gain some perspective and to gain some thought about this particular scenario and this particular situation. And then you have the thinking woman. You have the thinking woman, and then you have the thinking man. Okay, so I really do feel like, again, for a lot of you guys, this feels like a parental type of situation. I just kind of feel like, because the child came up in what, these two scenarios, thinking man, thinking woman, journey, anxiety. The children came up here, children came up here. So I just kind of feel like for a lot of you guys, and children came up in the life force. I really do feel like you're going to have to do what's in the best interest for the child. Okay? Angels I feel like some of you are crying and it's almost like this is going to hurt. But please do not, create this finale in your mind. As in, this could just be a temporary situation. This very much could be a temporary situation. That's the things that most humans do, is we look for things to happen the same way all the time. The happily ever after. What about happily right now? You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot. Forever after is a long time. And for you to maintain a happiness over a long period of time is really hard. Okay? So let's just talk about, and let's just focus on, Aquarius, the happily right now. Okay? And that's exactly what I'm going to call this video, the happily right now. In this scenario, what is it going to take to make this person happy? Again, what is it going to take to re-engage this person? Right? You may be somebody, as an example, who can't have kids. Well, you know what? You can always adopt. You absolutely can always adopt, right? Or do the surrogacy thing if you can afford it, right? I just kind of feel like to an extent you may have to make a sacrifice if you feel like this person is your happily ever after person, is your soulmate, is who, God kind of ordained and brought in your life, if you're supposed to be with them. I'm going to say something really shitty, but it's almost like, hey, there's always next lifetime, right? Focus on the children, and then, kind of listen and pay attention and study. Do your work. Don't just look at the situation from one view, especially not just your view, but look at it from the situation from a child and see if the child is flourishing. You know what to do if you need to take a break. If both of you kind of need to take a break to kill some of this anxiety, that's okay to do as well. Okay? Not necessarily a good vibes reading per se. I feel like, again, these cards here, definitely good vibes, and then the bottom just falls out, right? The bottom just falls out, and it's like the undercurrent of this situation, this relationship, is in turmoil. Both parties are in turmoil. Both parties, each party has a want, a need, and or a desire, and y'all just have to figure out how you're going to work this out for the sake of the child or children. All right, Aquarius, I love you guys. I love you so much. Please take care of yourselves. Take care.